Funding for Overheard with Evan Smith is provided in part by Hilco Partners, Texas Government Affairs Consultancy, and its global healthcare consulting business unit, Hilco Health, and by the Matson McHale Foundation in support of public television, and also by MFI Foundation, improving the quality of life within our community, and also by the Alice Kleberg Reynolds Foundation, and viewers like you. Thank you.
I'm Evan Smith. She's a country music mainstay with 7 studio albums to her credit, along with 15 singles that have raced up the charts. An accomplished songwriter who's collaborated with the diverse likes of Clay Walker and the Indigo Girls, and as of last May, the first openly gay star of her very conservative genre. She's Chely Wright. This is Overheard. Is that a vote you'd like to have back now? Because you're a judge or a justice in your case doesn't mean that you're free of personal opinions about that. You have a dimmer view of him than you have of presidents past. So when they take your name in vain, you just laugh it off. For the larger issue, though, in your mind, is that it's not about whether there ought to be a death penalty, but whether the death penalty as administered is fair. Chely Wright, welcome.
Thank you.
So
good
nice
to be here with
see
you,
you.
Evan. Thank you.
You've had a year.
I've had a pretty big year.
You have had a big year. How much of what happened in the last year was planned, and how much of it was when the time came, the time came?
To a large degree, it was all pretty strategic.
Yeah.
The timeline and coming out is, I wanted to do it and do it well, and I wanted to be an effective voice in the LGBT community and in the country music community.
Are those two things related? Is doing it well, does that mean being an effective voice?
For me, it did.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it did. I don't know. I can't say that it means that for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it well and not just twittering, hey, y'all, I'm gay. I wanted to do it differently because no one had ever acknowledged being gay in country music, as you mentioned. But it was really important to me to tell my entire story, and to do that, I had to write a book.
Well, I was about to say, it was really a coordinated effort in the sense of there was an album, there was a book, there was a People magazine cover, and there was, in fact, build-up to the cover. Who's it going to be? What are they doing? So it seems to have worked in terms of being able to get the whole story out there.
Yeah, I mean, to have a forum, I hired a great publicist, Howard Bragman, who is kind of the guy to bring professionals, athletes and celebrities out of the closet. He is a gay man himself.
Boy, there's a subspecialty of publicity. I guess we've come a long way, haven't we?
He's the guy.
Yeah.
And in the small group of people I had confided in my team and building a team to come out, I was asking the leaders in the LGBT community in whom I confided what my plan was. I said, who can do this? And everyone said Howard Bragman. And he did it with such precision and compassion and really helped me find the forum that I aspired to have.
Now, there are probably some people who say, well, this was an effort to sell books or sell records. I'm sure cynics probably said the timing of this it seems like something that was a publicity-driven deal, but it wasn't. That was all incidental.
Right, and that was said to me quite a bit. It's said to me every day. I get, accused of that, and, my response to that isn't, I don't take great offense to that. My response is, it wasn't a publicity stunt, and if anyone knows anything about commercial country music, they would know that coming out as gay does not really...
This is not exactly a great career move.
Right. I can't believe I didn't think of it till
earlier,
now.
Right, exactly. But I want to talk about that. We know what happened in May, but the story of what's happened since May, the reaction to this, not just the immediate reaction, but the more medium and longer term consequences on your career, for your career, and for you. Talk about that. What's the reaction when you run into people who are your fans, people in Nashville? What do they say?
That's been a journey, and it's been part of it I anticipated. I had a feeling some of my fans would abandon me, and that was okay.
And did that happen?
It did.
Yeah.
And I had some fans from the LGBT community who hadn't heard me or heard of me before, who have come to my Facebook page and hit the like button in support. And that's great. And then I had a few fans, not a few, more than a few, thousands and thousands and thousands of fans that I was hopeful, what we call the movable middle in the LGBT movement. And those are the people that we feel like if we can put a face and a name and a story to the word gay, where they didn't think the word gay was applicable before, that perhaps we can move their heart and their mind. And I have a group of those fans that have approached me and said, I didn't think I knew a gay person.
Right.
You've always been nice to me. You've been nice to my kids. I like your record. This is a head scratcher, Chely Wright. And those are the people that I thought that I could be effective
and
in
they
changing.
didn't. But at that point, then they don't peel off. They then sort of go, okay, well, I'm going to sort of get comfortable with this and not desert you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
this
that's,
movable middle concept is interesting. You know, that it could be said that in the larger portfolio of issues related to the LGBT community, that there's probably more of a movable middle than many people want to believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think my dad was that, you know.
Talk about that.
Well, you know, my dad is a conservative country boy from from Missouri. And he is, by and large, an uneducated man. He left school in eighth grade, went into the Navy, has worked in construction his whole life, and that profile would lead one to believe that he's going to reject a kid that says, I'm gay.
Right.
And in 2005, I had a sit down with my dad because I was feeling, when you're gay and you hide, you detach. And because you're spinning all these plates and trying to keep your stories straight, and you tend to detach from your loved ones. Not because you don't love them, just because it's so hard to live two lives. And I realized I got to tell my dad, we're growing apart, he's getting older, what if I lose him, that'll kill me. And I told him that I'm gay, and the minute I told him that I'm gay, he hugged me and he said, I love you, first of all. And I said, do you love me even though, Dad? And he said, kid, I love you because.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, what a great reaction.
And that's the movable middle, because
Right.
he didn't think he knew anybody gay.
Right. Probably did.
Yeah, probably knows a lot more people than me that are gay.
Now, would it have been different if you had come out to him when you were younger? I mean, your story, as it's been told many times, is that you knew significantly earlier than you told us.
Yeah.
Right. And so, had you told him earlier, would his reaction have been different than it was now?
No one's ever asked me that. That's a great question.
Okay.
And I have an answer.
Okay.
I had a discussion with my dad shortly after we were on the Oprah Winfrey Show. People from all over the world would tell your dad he's amazing, and my dad is amazing. And he said, I got to tell you, I'm a little overcome with guilt. And I said, why? And he said, everyone's saying how great I am, how amazing I am to love you. He said, had you come out to me when you were 16, I probably would have kicked you out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the sad part of this.
Yeah.
There's not a good lesson in that, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it just shows that, you know, my dad's like a flower that just continues to blossom, and it's never too late to grow and learn and expand one's capacity for understanding and compassion, and that's my dad.